Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Paul's Monday Market update, 189 for the Monday, 7th of July, 2025. As always, you are very welcome here to join us, but remember that you are always responsible for your own trading decisions. And then finally for this week, what we're looking at, DAL, Delta Airlines, why are we looking at these? There is a thin week of earnings, and Delta have theirs on Thursday. They're kind of the only real name that many of us here in the UK might sort of have heard or recognised or be aware of. Me, I always keep an interest on aerospace and defence anyway, and I think I've said it before. I have kind of a soft spot for Delta Airlines in terms of them as an airline, not as a stock. I have a soft spot for them because when I was 18 years of age, I went and did Camp America, and after I did my 9 weeks of working on an American camp, I then spent $250, which got me a 30-day unlimited mileage ticket around America with Delta Airlines. And so I had a grand old time sort of traveling all over the US. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm sure kids these days don't get opportunities like that. But anyway, so I've always, had a soft spot for Delta. But as I said, my rose-tinted spectacles, of Delta Airlines, what they were like 30 plus years ago, does not colour my vision of them as a stock at the moment. And once again, what we saw has been a rather interesting kind of year or so, hasn't it? Having basically sort of kind of rallied hard, then invariably what we saw was as Musk's Doge team got involved, as they started cutting basically some of the kind of federal government's what should we say, kind of spending money like a drunken sailor on shore leave, and also whilst basically stopping, a lot of the making federal employees redundant and basically stopping the kind of the travel. Well, then invariably we can see that also had an impact on basically Delta Airlines. Now, admittedly, there are other elements there involved, like some of the geopolitical tensions, but that was quite some drop off there, wasn't it? From here we are $70, down at $35. Right, you've halved in price there over a couple of months. And we had been seen to sort of have a little bit of a bounce, a bit of a rally, and now I just look at us here as just basically we've just been pivoting around $50, haven't we? Pivoting around $50, and so for me, let's just clear this down. What am I looking at and run up to the if the news is good, if we get some good news on things like tariffs, etc. I would like to see basically Delta getting above their sort of $52, $53, above that weekly 50. If love it. To me, that would be bullish. That would be my bias. Alternatively, if the numbers are poor, well, then I'd be looking for us to sort of drift our way back down to sort of $42, where that weekly 200 period moving average is. So, as you can see yourself, pivoting around 50, we shall see if the let's say the geopolitical and economic events of this week have an impact, as well as what Delta Airlines numbers are on Thursday. So you might want to just watch and see how that plays out later on this week.